Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So it has been like 2 weeks since I have filmed and it feels like forever. So I have never been more excited to be filming. I've just had a hell of a week. I'm sure many of you saw I was posting kind of frequently between Twitter and Instagram. And I just want to thank everybody for said something about me losing my dog. It meant a lot. Between being sick and this cold sore, which is slowly kind of going away, it's just been one of those weeks. So I apologize for my absence. There's been so much going on. I got tons of new products that I'm excited to play with and show you guys. But I was so anxious to get back to filming that I put up a little poll on Instagram and on Twitter asking what you guys wanted to see next. And it was between how to bake your makeup, a really colorful fun eye look, or my August favorites, which I do plan to film all of them. But I found that most people really wanted to learn what the heck baking was and a fun colorful eye look. So I'll do those and then I'll film my August favorites. So as you can see, my setup is changed a little bit. I have my vanity now behind me. I do plan to put like a curtain or something here just to kind of block all of this light. This is where I was filming before. This was all the natural light that I was getting. So it was really awesome, but I finally got lighting. So I have 2 umbrella lights now set up. I just wanted to change it up a little bit. I'm sure you all were getting sick of seeing my bed in the background. I know I was. So I apologize if the lighting isn't perfect yet. I'm still playing around. I'm trying to figure out what works best, so just bear with me. But anyway, longest intro ever. I'm gonna show you guys how to bake today. So for those of you that don't know what baking is, I'm not gonna act like I'm super knowledgeable, because the information that I got in regards to baking actually came from a video that I watched Jaclyn Hill film. And from what I understand, baking is basically taking a translucent powder and setting your concealer, setting your makeup, and the heat from your body in between like the powder and the heat actually cooks the layer of powder on your skin and really seeps into your pores. The concept really came from like the whole drag queen I guess industry. If you've ever noticed, their makeup is very bold, flawless, contours like super sharp, but they bake their makeup, and that's what gives them that really flawless, poreless, chiseled out finish. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do that today. Obviously not to the extreme of a drag queen, but I find when I bake my makeup, especially because I'm oily, it really helps with keeping me matte and keeping everything nice and poreless and even. So the first thing you want to do, which I already did, was put foundation on. I used the Maybelline Fit Me. Y'all already know that's one of my favorites. And I don't like using a super matte finish foundation when I bake, because this is going to already make you matte. So the Maybelline Fit Me, it is the matte and poreless one, but it's not like super matte. I find that my oil still pulls through throughout the day. Unlike the L'Oreal, what is the one that I got? The L'Oreal Infallible, which I have worn now for the past 2 weeks, and I'm in love with it. It keeps my face really matte. If you're somebody who's dry, that's not going to work for you, because I got a little sun in Colorado and I did see that it kind of clinged onto my dry patches, but I'm not typically dry, so that doesn't faze me either way. Anyway, so after your foundation is on, you want to go in with concealer. Concealer is a key part of baking, so I'm going to go in with the Naked Skin Urban Decay concealer. You guys have seen me use this before. I'm going to go ahead and make a triangle underneath my eyes, down the bridge of my nose. Well, not the bridge of my nose, but the side of my nose, and just kind of make that triangle that you guys have seen me do in a lot of my other videos. And I'm going to put it in all the other places that I traditionally would conceal. Will conceal, but also you know that I use my concealer to highlight also. So now that it looks like this, you're gonna take your beauty blender. Now this might be like super high maintenance of me, but when I bake, I like to use 2 beauty blenders, one to blend out my concealer and one to bake. And I'll use the nude one to blend out my concealer and then the pink one to bake, only because I have found that if I conceal with this and I bake with this also, the next time I go to do my makeup and there's still a little powder left on my beauty blender, it causes my concealer to come out a little clumpy, because the rule of thumb is you're not really supposed to mix powders with creams or liquids. So that's why I see a lot of people, you know, they freak out because they're using this damp sponge to go into a powder, and you're not really supposed to do that. But because it's not soaking wet, it's just we've damped it, we've enlarged it. It's not like it's wet. It doesn't make my hands wet when I hold it. I guess it works. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and blend my concealer with my nude beauty blender. As per usual. Nothing really new here or exciting. Oh my god, my brows have been reckless. I'm growing them, as I mentioned before, and that process has been a process to say the least. But I need to get these brows back to the way they were. I've gotten so used to tweezing, and I think I've just overdone it a couple of times, and it's caused my brows to no longer be exactly the same. And I already know that no matter what you do, you're never going to have your brows look exactly the same. But one is like longer than the other, one is shorter than the other, and makes me a little crazy. So I'm just in the process of evening everything out. Okay, looks good. So now that you've blended in your concealer and everything, this is when you want to go in and bake. And before you bake, it is so important to make sure that you've already smoothed out any creases or any like obvious what's the word, harsh lines from your foundation and your concealer. Make sure you blend everything out really well. I personally like to take my ring finger and go back underneath my eyes just to really get rid of any of those harsh lines that may still be there that the beauty blender was unable to get. The warmth from your hands does a really good job at blending in concealer, so I just like to go in there as an extra precaution. So the product that I'm going to use today to bake is, you've seen me use this in one of my videos before. It's the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Translucent Powder. You want to use a translucent powder when you bake. It's just going to give you the better finish. I've never seen anybody use any color powders or anything like that. And now I'm going to go in with my pink beauty blender. This one's a little bit larger than the other one. I'm going to show you two ways that people bake, which first is to set your concealer, which is also going to give you a really great brightening effect, a very great, what's the word, just like I said earlier, poreless, seamless look. So you just literally, I don't know if you guys can see that, go right in to your powder. And this, I kind of start off with a little bit first, and you just press it in. This will get messy, so don't even worry about it. That's why I wore like a lighter shirt, because I already know. And I'm just going to set this where I put all that under eye concealer. Now, the length of time that you leave the, oh my gosh, this is what happens when I try to do two things at one time. I can't speak English. So the length of time that you let the product bake is gonna, it's really up to you. It's really a preference thing. Most people will leave this underneath their eyes, especially if they're gonna go do like a really intense eye look. You're gonna choke on this powder, so it's just part of baking. So if I were going to go in with like a really glittery or shimmery or like a black shadow or something, this would be great to leave underneath my eye so that when I go in with the shadows or the shimmers, if there's any fallout, it'll fall right on the powder and you can just dust it away. So a lot of people bake underneath their eyes for that reason. If they go in with their foundation or concealer first, they'll bake, then they'll do their eyes, let it sit there for the entire time they're doing their eyes, and then they wisp it away. If you're just looking to set your concealer, mattify everything, make everything nice and seamless, you can leave this on for a minute or two and then just wipe it right away. So to wipe away the bakage, I usually like to take my Morphe E3, and that is exactly all you do, is you just whoosh it away. Now make sure that you do a good job dusting this off completely, because it has happened to me so many times that I don't dust it off, and in pictures I have like that white cast underneath. So another great tip that or tactic or method or whatever people use baking for is to really clean up their contour. So I haven't gone in with the contour today, so I'm going to do that really fast. I'm going to take the Morphe M437 and my Benefit Hoola bronzer, and I'm just going to quickly, like, just messily contour, because that's usually what this is good for. If you kind of get your contour too low, or you want to chisel out your contour a little bit more, this is good for that. Really getting in there. Okay, so now if I want to really just chisel out this contour right here, I would do the same thing. I would go in with my beauty blender, get some of that powder, and just underneath the hollows of my jawline. You don't want to bring this up. You want to still keep the contour where it's supposed to be, but you literally just draw a line to like the edge of your mouth. And I like to bring it down to keep everything looking even. So that's what it would look like. And you want the lines to be even. You want them to be placed very similarly to each side. And at this time, I would go in and bake my T-zone. My T-zone is where I get the most oily. And as you know, powder absorbs oil. So at this time, I would take powder and bake along my chin, in between my forehead. So this is a great tactic for people who get oily like me, and along the nose area. This is also really great if you have really deep smile lines. I know a lot of people, depending on the products they use, their smile lines could be more emphasized. And I noticed that if you bake along your smile lines just like that, the powder will cook into the lines and make them less obvious. So again, you let that sit for as long or as little time as you want. I'm gonna let it sit for a couple of minutes, and then with the same brush I'm gonna wipe it away. Okay, so I left it on for a couple minutes, and now I'm just gonna start dusting it away. You can already see how defined and chiseled that contour is. So this is like really great for like a night out that you need your makeup to like last you, and you're looking for that real chiseled out, defined contour. And once you've blended it out to the way that you want it, I just like to blend it out enough where it doesn't look so like harsh like that. So again, blend it out as much as you'd like to your liking, but that's just another thing that baking is really great for. So we basically have set underneath our eyes with baking, we oil controlled and set our T-zone, and we defined that contour to make it nice and chiseled. So yeah, I mean, the end result really is a really flawless face. No, I can barely see my pores. I know it's kind of tough to see in the camera, I'm sure, but when I look at it up close, my face is completely matte, completely poreless, really nice and even, and that is the beauty of baking. This is obviously not something you're gonna do like every day. It is a little messy, it's time consuming. In my opinion, it does utilize a lot of product, so don't buy a very super expensive translucent powder. Translucent powders are sold drugstore now. My It Cosmetic one, I'm not sure how much it was. I know Laura Mercier sells one. You know, as long as you can get your hands on a really affordable and a good amount of the translucent powder, if you plan to utilize baking, that is what I would do if I were you. But I really only bake when I really need my makeup to last me all day. This really bulletproofs your makeup. Great for oily skin, like I mentioned earlier. People with dry skin, this may not work for you. Combination skin people, mainly in their T-zone is where they get oily. But if you have dry, patchy parts or sections to your face, I wouldn't bake often unless you plan to really go in with a super hydrating primer and a super luminous foundation. I'm sure you can get away with it, but I know that a lot of people with dry skin do not favor baking. Before I forget, today's makeup tip is baking for oily skin. I have found that baking for my oily skin has really helped oil control the longevity of my makeup, really keeping me matte and poreless all day long. So you know, this one's really ideal for oily skin, guys. So if you have oily skin, baking is definitely for you. So go ahead and try it out and see how you like it. Let me know how you like it. And yeah, that is baking, guys. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. Leave them in the comments below. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Give this video a big thumbs up. Why do I still have this? Give this video a big thumbs up if you liked what you saw, if this was helpful. And again, leave me a comment below. I love hearing from you guys. I love interacting with you guys. Let me know what you want to see next. I literally have a list going of requests that I have gotten over these past couple of weeks. Like I said, I will be doing a really colorful eye look, very similar to the Nikki Tutorials video she just posted recently, with the same color scheme. Not exactly the same look, but I have very similar colors and it inspired me, so I'll be doing that. August favorites, somebody asked for a skincare routine, color pop review and things like that. So I have a lot of really great things coming, guys. So again, please subscribe if you haven't already. And I think that is it. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.